So Matthew, you have a story to tell us.
Yes, and you haven't heard this story yet.
Not yet.
But I figure this is a story that people might want to hear because it's interesting.
All right.
And very embarrassing.
All right.
So, this is my story of today. A little backstory first. Over the past year or so, I've been getting calls from this really obnoxious company. It's some sort of scammer company or something, and they will call me, and I won't recognize the number, and I'll say hello, and inevitably I'll hear this sound like I'm being switched to a robotic sort of thing, and then I'll hear this kind of naturalistic voice go, "Hi, how are you today?" And I'll say, "Oh, I'm doing okay. Good, would you like to buy some insurance?" It's obviously some pre-recorded thing. Okay. So I fell for this one time. After that, when I hear it, and I hear the blip, I'm like, oh, okay, stupid people calling me again. So I closed the phone, and after a while, they just kept calling. So eventually, I saved that phone number as spam, so I know not to pick up the phone whenever it rings. So eventually, they called me from another number. I saved that as spam 2. So now my call list is full of spam, 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 do not answer, kill this person, and so on, because of all these same people calling me from all these different numbers.
Okay.
So eventually, one day I see they're calling again, it says spam 4 or whatever, and I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm going to tell these people off, and they're going to know it, and they're going to stop calling me. So I answered the phone, and I went, stop calling me, please! And I slammed the phone shut, and they stopped calling me for a few months. 1 month ago, the calls came back under different numbers. More numbers every day, every week, every hour. Well, not that long, but it was still really, really annoying because they would wake me up at like 8 a.m. or they'd call me at work or they'd call me at church, and it'd be the same thing because you don't know if it's someone that that wants to talk to you that you just don't have their number yet. So I have to keep answering them, and it just got on me. So I tried to remember the area codes so I'd be prepared next time. Well, today, I got another call from a really crazy number, and I'm like, oh, jeez, okay. You know what? I've had it with these people. I've reached my limit. It's time to really show them who's boss. And what follows is pretty much the best of my memory what went down, but has not been exaggerated in any way.
Okay.
This is what I did. I looked at the number, I opened it, I hit answer, and I said, before listening to anything, stop calling me! I can't take it anymore! Every day, every week, it's driving me crazy! If you keep calling me like this, I'm going to kill myself! And then I looked, and they were still listening, like they hadn't switched me over. So I'm like, oh, I got their interest. Okay. So I decided to keep going with it. This was fun. They're listening, and maybe they'll, at least get a kick out of it, and maybe stop calling me! So I kept going with it, and this time I was kind of like, going on to crazy guy getting unhinged mode. Oh yes, thank you, please, thank you, call me more for the insurance. I love all the insurance, I want to buy all the insurance. Just keep calling me, please. And then I closed the phone. So, I was pretty proud of myself at that point, because I done this whole bit, and I was like, yeah, I'll teach them. So maybe now, they'll know, not to mess with me. Yeah, so I went to the other room, and I went on the computer, I'm like, yeah, okay. So I was kind of curious to look up this number to see, what other people were saying about it. Because in the past, when I looked up these spammer numbers, everyone's been driven crazy by them, just like I have. So I Googled the number and I pulled it up, and it wasn't a spammer number.
Who was it?
It was Nintendo.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was Nintendo of America, and I was thinking, what just happened? What did I just, did I just mess something up? So I called Michael. I'm like, Michael, I think Nintendo just called me, and I kind of freaked out on him. And he said, what? I just talked to them about Tadpole Trouble, about getting a dev kit. I think they told them, I gave them your number, they're going to call you. I was like, oh no, oh no! So I hung up and I went to the computer, and I got an email from the guy, and he's asking me, he's like, is this the correct number? Because I just called this number, and I got a random voicemail from it. So I was thinking, like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? Do I lie? Do I make up something like some other crazy guy had that number and this is my real number? But I can't really do that because he knows my voice and I have my phone. I gotta use my phone. So I was like, okay, no, I just gotta come clean on this one. So I emailed him back saying, I'm so sorry about that. Please call me and I can explain. So thankfully he called back a few minutes later, and I just kind of apologized profusely and told him the whole story. And eventually we kind of had a good laugh about it, and he didn't seem to really mind. So I guess all's well that ends well. And in other news, they were calling about Tadpole Trouble, which was great. or at least it would be if I hadn't freaked out like a maniac and made them think that I was some sort of crazy person. But yeah, he gave me the whole rundown on the dev kit and everything. So now, I think we're okay with Nintendo again, and that is my story of how I became a Wii U developer. Thank you. 3 gray hairs and counting.